We're live on Joy 99.7 FM here in Accra. In Kumasi, we are on Love 99.5 FM. We are on myjoyonline.com. We are also live in all 16 regions. We are on Radio Y in Wa, KTU Radio in Koforidua, Kekeli Radio in Ho, and Kaleo FM in Akachi. We are live on X Spaces. We are on Facebook. The Midday News is sponsored by Petrol Sol, your clean fuel in full quantity. Petrol Sol is always a delightful experience. Also brought to you by Dura Plus Ghana Limited, producers of quality PVC and HDP pipes and water tank. We are the only water storage tank with a level indicator, and where Dura Plus goes, water always flows. This afternoon, no end in sight for the resolution of cases filed against the anti-LGBTQ bill as the Supreme Court adjourns Richard Sky's case, allowing him to file a new motion.
So the plaintiff applicant is to file a fresh motion paper with supporting affidavit and statement of case.
We have details from the Supreme Court where there was test exchanges between Chief Justice Gertrude Tokonu and lawyer for the Speaker of Parliament, Thaddeus Sori.
A person, a lawyer, yes, like yourself, like yes, you found yourself muddled up this morning. Oh, yes, you have.
I am pointing out as the foundation to which I am not accepting what he has filed.
No, hold on.
Yes.
Which motion paper?
His motion for injunction.
So, hold on.
Yes.
Whenever I start, stop. Oh. You are going to interrupt me.
We have details of that. Also, Electoral Commission resolves technical challenges that characterize the first day of its limited voter registration exercise as the process continues smoothly in many parts of the country.
I thought we would be late, but we are done. So they said we should wait for our food. They will even supply food for us, so they said we should wait for our food.
So far, the process has been smooth. That is what I would say.
We have more as the running mate describes. NDC running mate describes day one as chaotic as she accuses the NPP of busing people to registration centres.
Well, yesterday was chaotic, as we all know. The machines weren't working. Many places hadn't started on time, as was advertised. And therefore, today is much better. And my hope is that it continues.
And this afternoon, as Ghanaians cry out to government to address the canker of corruption, we'll tell you how Cecilia Dapa appears to have created a wedge between the Office of the Special Prosecutor, EOCO, and the Attorney General.
So EOCO wrote to the OSP asking for a copy of that report. EOCO did not receive any reply.
At no point in time has EOCO requested for a copy of the FBI report.
I will send the docket that we received from the OSP to him, that there's nothing for us to do.
But to what extent is this public spat frustrating the fight against corruption?
What is happening is clearly a symptom of a broken system.
My biggest disappointment comes from the Attorney General. I thought he should have called OSP and called Madam Tiwa and said, look, guys, you are working in the public interest.
We have details of that in sports.
After suffering 5 defeats in 6 matches, Hearts of Oak hope to end their poor run of form as they face Brecum Chelsea in the Ghana Premier League.
And much later, I'll take you to the Ashanti Kingdom, where love speech read by the wife of the Asante Hene Otumfo say to the second during a birthday dinner put everyone in a state of awe.
Otumfo, my love, I promise to continue to be your backbone. I reaffirm the vow that I made to you when we first married, that I will be your peace and your sanctuary.
Stay for that moment. We have details of that and more here on the Midday News. I am Emefa Apawu. This is your home of independent, fearless and credible journalism. Let's settle for details now, shall we? We start off from the Supreme Court and efforts to resolve some legal disputes which President Akufo-Addo has cited for his refusal to receive the bill has hit a snag. One of the cases filed by Richard Delasky has been adjourned indefinitely to allow the legal practitioner and broadcaster to file a fresh motion to take care of some mistakes in his earlier motion. There were also intense exchanges of words between Chief Justice Gertrude Tokonu and lawyer for the Speaker of Parliament, Thaddeus Sori.
The plaintiff applicant's first prayer endorsed on the face of his motion paper is modeled up in the difficult to understand prayer to restrain the Speaker and the Clerk of Parliament.
Sorry, hold on.
Yes, madam.
How is that expressive of a preliminary legal objection to move an application to amend?
My lady. It's
a person, a lawyer,
yes,
like yourself, like yes, you found yourself muddled up this morning.
Oh,
yes, you have. A lawyer files. I can see what his difficulty is. When you read, you can see he left out some words. You chose to denigrate that, what happened in his expressions by describing it as muddled and confused. And the man now wants to correct himself by expressing it fully. And you say you have a preliminary legal objection.
Yes, my lady.
Where is the legality?
Because, the legality lies in the fact that the motion paper invokes the jurisdiction of the court. And if there is an irregularity on the face of the motion paper, which I am pointing out as the foundation to which I am not accepting what he has found.
No, hold on.
Yes.
Which motion paper?
His motion for injunction.
The man is not seeking. Hold on.
Yes.
Whenever I start, stop.
Oh.
You are going to interrupt me.
Very well.
Then you wouldn't hear what I have to say.
Very well, my lady.
The man's application is not to amend his motion paper. His application is to amend his reliefs.
Very good. And my lady will realize that I'm saying in paragraph 7 that his first relief is modeled up in a difficult to understand.
Hold on.
And there's a second
Stop. Yes. And this is why I'm telling you that the application before us is to correct that muddled up expression. Do you not see that?
And so I'm saying, so my point is that is my objection to it. But
he should not correct himself.
Oh yes, because you see,
he should not.
Yeah, there's authority on this from this court on that point.
Well, so excerpts of what transpired in court a while ago. A leading member of our legal affairs desk, Kweku Asante, sat through proceedings. He joins us with a blow by account of what happened in Parliament, in the Supreme Court, I should say. And Kweku, first, who are the members of the panel hearing these cases, you say?
One of our 5-member panel presided over by the Chief Justice herself, Justice Gertrude Tokuno. The other members of the panel, Justice Yao Asaredako, Professor Henrietta Mensah-Bonsu, Justice Mariama Wusu, and then Justice Ernest Yaogayo.
Tell us about the application by lawyers for Richard Sky to amend their reliefs and the decision of the court.
So, for the expectation of the Speaker of Parliament and the sponsors of the LGBTQ bill were that those two injunction applications will be discussed this morning and a ruling given by the Supreme Court whether to uphold it or dismiss it. But the lawyers for Richard Sky had two applications for the court. First, an application for leave to file supplementary affidavit, and also an application for leave to amend their relief. Substantively, the second one was what the Supreme Court dwelled on. That is, the prayers that Richard Sky had come to court with. What he was seeking from the court, he wanted to amend same, in particularly the first one having to do with the major relief. And he saw that some of the way it had been worded were what the Chief Justice and Tadiosori were describing as muddled up. And so he wanted to amend that. But Tadiosori was opposed to that. He said that per the rules of the court and a string of other decided cases, Richard Sky and his lawyers were not entitled to do so. Ultimately, the Attorney General also spoke and did speak on behalf of Richard Sky and his lawyers, making the point that there was nothing in law or in decided cases that stopped the plaintiff applicant from being able to make those amendments to his relief. Ultimately, the Supreme Court decided that the application had merit and ruled in favor of Richard Sky's lawyers that they should be able to amend those reliefs.
Mr. Chancellor, I'm proud just to point out that he should address new matters of fact in the affidavit, but not issues of law. Especially that would be offensive of the rules. Affidavit contains matters of fact, new matters of fact.
And I said so.
No, it's a new issue and issues of law. I had.
Yes.
No.
I said matters of fact.
Yes.
And issues of law.
No,
that they want to.
Right. Because
I don't want any further applications.
No, because issues of law cannot be an affidavit.
No. Listen.
Right.
Listen. I don't know if you listened to my ruling.
Yes.
I said the plaintiff applicant is to file a fresh motion paper with supporting affidavit and statement of case.
Oh, statement of case.
Yes.
That's fine.
That's part of the ruling.
That's fine.
If you missed that.
That's fine. Yes.
This is why I said he may introduce any new issues of law, because I'm not going to give you any new, I'm not going to listen to any further applications for amendment. So just do a good job. And let everybody say what you want to say. But I think it's necessary to say this. Mr. Sorry, some of the material in your affidavit is extremely intemperate. I know they are not your affidavit, especially the affidavit.
Now, Kweku, let's talk about the second case against the bill, the Amanda Odoi case. It was heard. What was the decision? Unfortunately, I've lost Kweku Asante there on that matter. But there was a decision on the second case against the anti-LGBTQ bill. And of course, there have been reactions from the lawyers for each side. At least he's been interacting with lawyers for Richard Sky. Listen.
But for space, our courts have nothing to hide, especially in this country. These constitutional matters are best placed in public domain so that everybody will hear and understand, to stop some of these speculations we have all around us. It puts an end to this making rounds of stories. We sometimes sound very strange when you are in court because they are not actually what happened. So I'm all yours when it comes to putting these things in the airspace for everybody to hear and see. It saves even us as lawyers because we belong to other social groupings and questions are asked every now and then about what transpired in court. So due to save me from the numerous explanations people may require from me. Please, your name. Excuse me.
And that's a lawyer for Richard Sky, and Kweku Asante joins us back on the line. Kweku, we're asking for update on the second case against the bill, the Amanda Odoi case. What was the decision of the court?
Well, the Amanda Odoi case, which was also seeking an injunction application stopping Parliament from transmitting the bill to the President and also asking the Supreme Court to stop the President from receiving the bill and acting on it, has also not proceeded because, according to the court, there are some averments in the affidavits and other court processes that have been filed by Thaddeus Sorry, the lawyer for the Speaker of Parliament, that the court says contains language that are intemperate and scandalous. They say some of the words in there are so strong, and so they were giving him the leave for him to also withdraw that and file new processes in court. And so on that case as well, the merits of the case has not been discussed at all, but the lawyers for Dr. Amanda Odoi took objection to some of the words and expressions that have been used by Thaddeus Sorry in those processes that have been filed in court. The Attorney General also backed that and cited the rules of court and said that because of that, they were scandalous of the processes. The court agreed and has also since asked Thaddeus Sorry to withdraw them and file new processes.
Well, we've been hearing reactions from some of the lawyers for the other side, but really, have we been hearing from the Attorney General and also the Speaker's lawyer, Thaddeus Sorry, their reactions to the court's decision?
Well, Thaddeus Sorry has declined. He says he does not want to go in that. He believes that the substantive of the case will be discussed in the coming days, and he wants to focus on that for now. We've also caught up with the Attorney General. He also does not go so much into the substantive, except to say that he is really grateful to the Chief Justice for allowing the cameras into the court. It was unprecedented. In some of these constitutional cases, the cameras are not allowed, bar the Supreme Court election petitions that have happened in the last few years. Those are the cases that the cameras are allowed. He says that this is very great. But ultimately, he also comments again on the Supreme Court decision to ask Thaddeus Sorry to withdraw some of those court processes because of the language that they were couched in. And he says that is the right thing to do.
And that's a leading member of our legal affairs desk, Kweku Asante, there reporting from the Supreme Court. Let me take you to the election headquarters now. And this is your election headquarters, made possible by Petrosol, Clean Fuel in Full Quantity, CIMA, the Chartered Institute of Management Accountants, CIMA, AICPA, and CIMA together as the Association of International Certified Professional Accountants and the German Ozone Medical Center, Alternative Therapy, Dental Wellness, and Beauty. And it's day 2 of the limited voter registration exercise, and the Electoral Commission says all technical challenges that marred the voter registration exercise on the first day has been resolved. Thankfully, the Director of Electoral Services, Dr. Srebo Kweku, joins us on the line with updates on what the situation is today. We're grateful for your time on the Midday News. I'm sure you've been checking on the ground. What kind of reports are you getting so far? It's Midday.
Thank you, Emefa. I believe you're also on the ground. So far, so good. As for today, we haven't had any serious challenge. So this is far, far better than it used to be yesterday. So we thank everybody for contribution to the people.
And how do we make up for the lost time for yesterday? Is there really a decision for that?
This is a 21-day activity. We are targeting less than 700,000. these 700,000 could be registered within 7 days. So we believe that by the time we will close the registration on the 27th of May, whoever couldn't register yesterday would have been covered. So the half a day challenges shouldn't affect the exercise.
I'm sure you have estimates for each day. So far, are we on course in terms of targets?
Unfortunately, yesterday that we had a challenge. Some people registered almost 200. Some districts almost 200. So it means that even though the challenge came, a lot of the districts were able to capture the people who presented themselves. And the issue is that as they move, their speed increases. So we are expecting that those who registered, they are around 800 can do even 500 a day as the days go. So we'll be able to capture everybody.
And for the avoidance of doubt and purposes of education, is this exercise just for those who've turned 18 or those who don't have a voter ID card can also register?
This is a limited voters registration. So it is limited to those who have not registered since 2020. So if you register in 2020 or 2023, you are not supposed to re-register. If you have lost your card, ending of this month, 30th May onwards, we will be replacing cards. If you have relocated from 30th May to the 14th of June, we give you opportunity to transfer your vote from wherever you registered to where you are residing. So don't attempt to register if you have lost your card or you have relocated, because the register is for the whole country. You have only one register. So no matter where you register, you are part of the main register.
Okay.
You address your challenges for you as we move along. So don't try to register again. If you do that, you are committing an offense.
We are grateful. That's the Director of Electoral Services at the Electoral Commission, Dr. Strebo Okweku. Let's give you a national picture of the status quo. And we start from the Greater Accra region, where the NDC running mate, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, has expressed her disappointment over the difficulties that characterized the first day.
Well, yesterday was chaotic, as we all know. The machines weren't working. Many places hadn't started on time, as was advertised, and therefore today is much better. And my hope is that it continues, as it should. And in terms of yesterday, I know there are machines and so on, but one would not have expected that on such a large scale there'll be consistent problems. So definitely, if there were places, as I hear, where not even a single person was registered, or where very, very few people were registered because of challenges with the machines, then definitely the EC must make up for that time. Why does that happen? To what end? How do you prevent it? How does a person even being buzzed understand that this is not something I should be doing? Who is there to tell that person that this is the process? There are so many things we need to understand. What is the role of the MP?
Well, my colleague Kenneth JC was with the NDC running mates team, joins me in studio. Let's talk about the areas you visited and what exactly you observed.
So we visited the Ayawaso, West Wuogon and Medina constituencies, including the University of Professional Studies, Accra, and then the running mate expressed satisfaction with today's process. Let's make it clear that it was around 8 a.m., so we don't know what's happening right now. But she also did indicate that they are hearing information that people are being bussed from Achimwenchi to Medina to come and register by the supposed candidate of the New Patriotic Party in that constituency, and they are warning them to stop. So that's what happened today.
Thank you very much, Kenneth JC. Well, the issue about busing is also rearing its head in the northern region, and there were some chaotic scenes at the Tamale North Electoral Commission office where the exercise is underway. The DCE for Sanarigo is being accused of busing some students. Martina Bugri is on top of that issue. For us, joins us on the line. Let's talk about the accusation and how it was resolved.
So the DC, the MC, I'm told, came in with some students and wanted to get them into the offices to have their registration done. But the NDC protested and said that they also have students who have come and they are outside waiting for their turn. And so if the NPP wants them to have an agreement so that when students come, they allow them to register and go. Then they can have a discussion and come to a consensus. But until that is done, they were not going to allow the students to go into the center to register. And so they stopped them from entering to register. Now, when I spoke to the regional organizer, he admits that they are residents of the area and were coming to register. But the protest is that they should not skip the line to register.
Okay. That's Northern Regional Correspondent Martina Bugui off to the Ashanti region, and the applicants there are happy the challenges that characterize the first day have been resolved.
We came early in the morning and the process was going on well. We did everything well, and I thought we would be late, but we are done. So they said we should wait for our food. They will even supply food for us, so they said we should wait for our food.
Oh, they'll be even giving you food?
Yes.
Okay. But then let me ask, I always ask everybody why you decide to get your voter's ID card.
In Ghana, everything depends on democracy, right? So we have to choose our president, and we live in this economy. You have to be wise and choose the president that can help you. So me going into 21 years, I have to vote for the party that I want.
And some applicants there interacted with my colleague Nanabwachi Dankwayi. I'm still monitoring the process in the Ashanti region. We'll get updates from them subsequently. Taking us on a quick break here on the Midday News live on Joy 99.7 FM here in Accra and Kumasi. We're on Love 99.5 FM and myjoyonline.com. We are back and up and running. The Midday News is sponsored by Petrosol. Your clean fuel in full quantity. Petrosol is always a delightful experience, and brought to you by Duraplus Ghana Limited, producers of quality PVC, HDPE pipes and water tank. Where Duraplus goes, water flows. We've taken you to the Supreme Court, where there's no end in sight for the resolution of cases filed against the anti-LGBTQ bill, as the Supreme Court adjourns Richard Sky's case, allowing him to file a new motion. We'll return from the break with sports, and I'll take you to the Ashanti region, where a love speech read by the wife of Asantehene Otumfuo Seitu during a birthday dinner put everyone in a state of awe.
My love, I promise to continue to be your backbone. I reaffirm the vow that I made to you when we first married, that I will be your peace and your sanctuary.
It's the 3i Africa Summit, where innovation, impact, and investment converge, where technology drives transformation. From the 13th to the 15th of May 2024, heads of state, central bank governors, thought leaders, innovators, investors, academics, and entrepreneurs will converge to unleash Africa's full potential. Discover the power of digital assets, explore the state of digital growth in Africa, and unveil lessons from Africa's central bank digital currency experiments. Engage in discussions on diversity in the creative arts and tech, financing Africa's SMEs and bridging the digital gender gap. Network with investors, pitch your ideas, and access funding at the 3i Africa Deal Room and Pitchfest. Join us at the Accra International Conference Center as we ignite a fintech revolution for Africa's financial future. Visit 3iafrica.com to register now.
When budgets are tight and money difficult to come by, you want to be sure you get the best value for your money. These are not times to be spending money fixing expensive engine problems because of cheap fuel and lubricants. Drive to a Petrosol station today and buy your quality fuel and lubricants, and rest assured of fuel that lasts long and lubricants that prevent expensive engine problems. Hear the sound. Petrosol, clean fuel in full quantity.
Hello, Ghana. Are you tired of the same old political rhetoric? Do you believe it is time for a change that truly represents the voices of our youth, women, and children? I present to you Nana Kwame Bediako. He is a visionary leader with a passion for making our country better through innovative industrial revolution. Together, we can change the political narrative and create a government that truly represents the interest of all citizens. Join this journey to build a better and inclusive future for all by contributing to our Save Ghana Fund campaign. Your support, no matter the amount, is not just a donation, it is an investment in the shared desire for a more prosperous, equitable, and better nation. To donate, visit www.nkb.com.gh or dial *887 *2024 #. Thank you for your support.
There is time for everything, including exclusive breastfeeding by mothers, which starts within the first 30 minutes baby is born till the time the child is 6 months old. Grandma,
Grandpa,
husbands,
let's all come on board Good Life and insist that our child takes only breast milk for the first 6 months. No food, no water, no gripe water.
breast milk has all the nutrients the child needs to grow strong and healthy. So I ask, how is your good life?
Remember that exclusive breastfeeding for 6 months is best for baby, and good growth starts with right nutrition at birth. Good Life, live it well. It's an everyday thing. Good Life from Ghana Health Service and partners with support from USAID.
Thanks for staying with us here on the Midday News. Time for sports. Mubarak,
yes, Emefa. So Hearts of Oak, they face Brecum Chelsea at 3 p.m. today in the Ghana Premier League. Now, the Phobians remain keen to bounce back after losing 5 of their last 6 matches. Now, the club spokesperson, Opariado, says a win is non-negotiable.
It's rather unfortunate that the second round has not gone pretty well for us. But then if you sit back and you look at where we're coming from the preseason and then the first round, what we went through, you'll say that the second round has been a bit better than the first round.
We've got the Champions League tonight as well. Real Madrid, they take on Bayern Munich in the second leg of the tie. We've got live commentary for you at 7 p.m.
Thank you very much, Mubarak. I can call it a turf war personality clash, and you will not be far from the truth as the Attorney General and the leadership of Yoko clash with the Office of the Special Prosecutor over issues of mandate, allegations of withholding of information, and negligence of duty. There's more in this report.
Prosecutor on January 25, 2024, officially transferred investigation into the financial affairs and assets of former Minister of Sanitation and Water Resources, Cecilia Benadapa, along with their associates to the Economic and Organized Crime Office, Yoko. The OSP stated that no direct and immediate evidence of corruption was found in the seized funds and frozen bank accounts linked to Ms. Dapa and her associates after nearly 7 months of extensive investigation by it and a parallel inquiry by the Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, of the United States of America. The office asked Yoko to investigate the former minister for money laundering. 3 months on, the Attorney General advised Yoko to discontinue the investigation, describing the OSP referral as baseless. Godfrey Adame and the Special Prosecutor's Office will take their private disagreement to the public space.
OSP alluded to collaborative investigations with the FBI, based on which it came by transfers from other jurisdictions into Ghana. So Yoko, in pursuance of that, wrote to the OSP asking for a copy of that report. Yoko did not receive any reply. To date, it has not received any reply. And that was way back on 1st February.
But I also like to put on record that at no point in time has Yoko requested for a copy of the FBI report. Really? We need to be very accurate. Let me also go ahead to say that even if Yoko had requested for a copy of the FBI report, it was not just going to be that simple that
the executive.
Well, I'll bring you the full report, news desk report,
in the public
subsequently. And now it's time for fact-checking. And today we are focusing on some of the claims made by former Attorney General Betty Modidris in a recent interview. Head of our research desk, Raymond Akwa, joins me in studio with more on the claims and the verdict. Raymond, let's start with her first claim on the NDC's track record.
NDC has that reputation. We had the first woman Speaker of Parliament. Yes, the first female Attorney General.
Now, both claims are true. The Right Honourable Joyce Adeline Bamford Addo, JSC, was indeed the first woman to serve as Speaker of Parliament in Ghana from 2009 to 2013. And, of course, as the inner temple indicates, she was actually the first woman to be Speaker in the sub-region.
Okay, let's now focus on a claim on the deficit of vote of the NDC in the Ashanti region.
Our second focus, I know, obviously, should be in my own region, in Ashanti region, because That is where the votes are. We have over a 1.4 million deficit of votes, and that is where we believe we can get a canned vote.
This is false. According to the certified results from the AC, the NPP garnered 1,795,824 votes in the Ashanti region in the 2020 elections, and that of the NDC was 653,149, which means the NDC had a deficit of 1,142,672 in the Ashanti region and not over 1.4 million. Indeed, if you add all the other political parties in that election to the vote of the NPP, it will still not be up to a deficit of 1.4 million.
Okay, and that's fact checking with Raymond Aqua. Let me take you now to the Ashanti region.
These years together have been truly exceptional, and I continue to pinch myself daily to remind myself that this is not a dream.
And that's the wife of the Asantehene Otumfuo said to the woman we call Lady Julia, sharing some secrets of how she met her husband, the Asantehene. Well, during the dinner hosted for the Otumfuo as part of his 74th birthday celebration, Lady Julia recounted how their first meeting came about.
Otumfuo and I first met when I came to Kumasi as the Legal and Corporate Affairs Officer of EcoBank Ghana. I was tasked with giving the vote of thanks for the inauguration of the first branch of EcoBank in Kumasi. He tells me that he was mesmerized, that at the end of the ceremony, even though it had started to rain, he refused to leave. He made sure he found out who I was and how to get in touch with me before leaving the event grounds.
Well, listen to the Otumfuo's response.
Na mitriye meshia oba papa mitriye meshia oba nitriye oba wonye ni brifo o wote mama me ho ne pa nyinara na me de ne hia no nyame adama wono so aka ho ame de abeduru ba bi aduru.
I have goosebumps all over my body.
Well, someone says that se uhu sikanido. Yo, and someone also says that this is big man or gentleman approach. Poor man will spend time chasing and even doubting his ability.
Someone is still buying pizza. I know him.
That's how we end today's edition of the Midday News with MNJ. There's more when you log on to myjoyonline.com. Thanks for your patience. My Joy Online is back. I am Emefa. Apawu, have a good afternoon.